So as of the end of the first night of the RNC, we've had one night of the RNC for these numbers. We had the DNC as well. Let's talk a little bit about how much coverage there's been of it. Is it positive? What can we learn about what possible effect this might be having on the electorate? Because after all, if these conventions are supposed to do anything, supposedly they're supposed to influence the public, right? Well, comparing coverage of the first day of the DNC and the first day of the RNC's first day received, what is that? 40% more coverage if we take a look at this, and Media Matters did a great job. This is across ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC. A gigantic jump in coverage for the first day of the RNC, and I get it. It was crazy. Our live stream on Monday had like a 50% jump in live viewership, so I get it. But take a look at the breakdown. Remember, we're gonna be analyzing the liberal media. Here is how the coverage went on the first day for each of the major news outlets. So you can see that all of them except NBC gave more coverage to the RNC. The MSNBC gave about an hour extra, 50% more coverage to the RNC. Fox News, they couldn't be bothered to cover the DNC in the first day. They gave you like one episode of SpongeBob worth, and then all day for the RNC, it was coverage of it, even more than MSNBC. So they're duking it out to see who can give the most coverage to the Republicans. But geez, there's not quite equality when it comes to that, JR.
Oh my God. Well, at least it's not a surprise. It's what we could expect from them. And honestly, if they'd have shown more of the DNC, not saying more than they showed the RNC, if they showed more than they did of the DNC, the audience would have revolted. They're already getting pressure from Trump and his company and telling people, hey, you're supposed to avoid Fox News every time they halfway step on the line because they have an analyst on that voices the obvious truth of what's going on in just one particular situation. I mean, they're ready to bail on Fox News, go to OANN and go to, what's the other one? They're not saying Breitbart. There's two of these insane outlets that they're not pushing for. But OANN is getting the majority of the clout. So Fox News, no matter how close they go on to this president, they're still getting pressure to be like, it's not enough. There's never, too much is never enough for someone like Donald Trump as far as loyalty to him that he will not give back to you.
Yeah. By the way, I saw someone in the chat said the RNC started earlier, which, yeah, that's technically true. And Trump did speak earlier. You're right. It is unfair to compare a full day of the RNC. So let's compare just the nights. So Fox News evening coverage of the different nights. We have the whole of the DNC. Let's bring this up. And then we have the first night of the RNC. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in future nights, but not quite equal there. I mean, they talked a little bit about, I think Kamala Harris on night 3 drove quite a bit of it, but no, they were all about it, obviously. And here's the interesting thing. I don't care that much about how much these channels talked about it, but I want you to see how much more focus went on the RNC when you understand that far less actual people were watching the RNC. About 17 million tuned into the RNC's first night, compared with 19.7 million for the Democrats. So almost 3 million difference in viewers. Monday's total live TV audience fell 26% from the 2016 RNC. The Democrats had fallen about 24%. So they both fell, but a lot more people were watching the DNC. But that wasn't reflected in the coverage. They apparently had to go out of their way to find it because the media was focusing a lot more on the Republicans there. And I'm gonna keep it real. I'm really only mentioning the ratings because there's one individual who it's gotta burn that the ratings were down so much and so much less than the Democrats who were so boring after all. I mean, they were. Like, think about it. They have done everything they can to get people to watch this thing. They're bringing crazed people up. They might talk about QAnon anytime. They've got people on drugs screaming into the mic and everything. And even then, they couldn't get as many people to watch as watched John Kasich talk at the crossroads.
Oh my God. This is what disconnected gets you. So when you're disconnected from the general public and don't know where the pulse is of America, as you continue to distance yourself from people, you don't know it. So how do you know you're further and further and further from the way people think if you have no idea what people think and honestly don't really care what they think? So as they see this lineup of Trump then followed by another Trump, then followed by the third and the fourth Trump. They don't realize that then, as they keep going, Donald Trump is the best human being to ever live. Donald Trump, you're the best. Donald Trump, I wish you could be here forever. Donald Trump, you're the most awesomest person I've ever seen. Oh, Donald Trump, your face. So if that goes all night, even the supporters eventually go, like, even if it's subconscious, since your brain gets tired of the same monotonous digging and constant. And there's way too many other entertainment things, options that we have these days, you know?
Yeah.
So people don't have to sit and watch you talk about Donald Trump over and over and over again. They already agree with you, bro. They don't need you to keep telling them that he is the new God. Because they're kind of over it. So even the supporters, even though they may still go vote for him, they don't want to keep listening to this.
Maybe. I don't want to keep saying it. But anyway, so by the way, I just wanted to mention something I saw in the chat. It was when Ben dropped the F-bomb, the person's like, that's called a Tom Carper now.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.